So here are the two thoughts. The first thought was, and it just dropped to me, profound prophetic acts. Profound prophetic acts. And I was like, wow. And so when I had my hands raised, and it just kind of dropped, and my hands dropped, and I'm like, wow. And I picked up my Bible, and I opened it. I was looking for some place to go, but he didn't give me any place to go. So I put my Bible down. And then I just sensed the Lord saying to us, for us, that we get to create the narrative of the story. Okay? And so now here's the context, I believe. And whatever it is you're going through, whatever it is you're experiencing, don't let your feelings or your emotions, dictate the context. Don't let your fear or don't let your emotions tell the story. Say amen. Because it'll always be distorted if you let your emotions tell the story. Well, I'm preaching good. No, I'm not preaching. This is good time of sharing. Good time of sharing. Okay. So you have to be careful not to let your emotions tell the story, and you have to be careful not to let others tell the story. Come on. And so then I picked up my Bible again, and then I saw Luke 15, right? Y'all know that's the, in kind of theological construct and terms, that's considered the lost chapter of the New Testament, right? Because you had the sheep that was lost, the coin that was lost, and the boy that was lost, right? And so you have these three significant things that were lost. And so, but in the story of the prodigal, we call it the story of the prodigal son, but I really believe it's the story of the father's faithfulness in the face of a prodigal son. We preach about the boy, and we miss over the father. Amen. Say thank you, Father, for being faithful. Thank you, Father, for being faithful. And so y'all know the story. Y'all know the story. Okay. Now, what did I first say? Profound prophetic acts. And then making sure you control the narrative of the story. Right? Okay, so here we go. Time to share. I'm almost done here. And so y'all know the boy goes. He goes off. He asks his father for his portion. And it wasn't like the father could in secret go to the bank, withdraw money, and then give it to the son. He actually had to go to the gates of the city where business was transacted and sell off parcels of land and create this, for the boy to have in hand. Basically, a transliteration is when the boy says, give me what I have coming to me. It transliterates, I wish you were dead. Yeah, because that's the only way you can get an inheritance. Right. And right when the Hebrews said, you don't gain the inheritance unless and or until somebody.
You're preaching.
Right. And so, give me what's coming to me. He gets it. The Bible says, I think it's in the King James, it says riotous living and so on and so forth. Later on in the story, the older brother says prostitutes. That's what he was doing. And you have to be careful of what you accuse others of, because it might not be a root.
Right. Will you help us? That's a great word.
You get that on the right home. What you quick to accuse somebody else of may be a root form in you.
Right. That's a good word.
Who was it? I think it was, I believe, don't quote me, but I believe it was C.S. Lewis who said, suspicion often creates what it's looking for.
Wow, that's a great,
Even if it's not there, it'll create it. So the boy goes, does what he does. The scripture says that the father would go and look for him. Y'all know the story, right? He comes back. Finally, the boy has his moment. Everybody is going to have a moment. Everybody. Amen. Nobody gets out of this without having a moment. And what is a definitive moment? What you do in and with your moment will determine, I believe, often where you'll spend eternity. But everybody has a moment. The boy has a moment and says, even my father's hired people are doing better than me. I'm going home. Look at somebody and tell them, say, go home. Go home. Get out my house. Get off my couch. Wow. Go home. Wow. Get off my cell phone. Wow. Go home. Stop texting me. Go home. Wow. Okay? Because sometimes we're enablers in the name of the Lord. Okay, and so he comes back. The father is there waiting, and it is not like a one-time. It wasn't a coincidence. This was the routine of the father. Say, what did I say? Profound prophetic acts. Let me jump to the, remember the father said, kill the fatted calf. How do you think that calf got fat? Could it be that as a profound prophetic act, when the boy left, the father said, this calf is going to be used to celebrate when my boy comes home. So put him over there and feed him, fatten him up. Say profound prophetic acts. Because my boy is coming home. How many of you are waiting on God to do something in your situation? To put an exclamation point on it, God is asking, will you perform a profound prophetic act? Will you take a calf and separate him from all the other animals and just feed him? Just feed him. Just feed him. Feed your faith and not your fear. Just feed him. Just feed him. And then when your son comes home, you dictate the narrative. Now, what did the father say? When the boy came home, Scripture said he ran, he met him, he fell on his neck, he brought him home, and he gave him a robe, shoes, and a ring. Right? Right. I'm almost done with my share. I'm almost done. Okay, are you okay? Did he give him those three things? Right. I think the ring represented authority. The shoes represent purity. Wait, y'all know what he was just doing? But the father says, I'm going to control the narrative. So that as he comes back into my house and comes back among the family, comes back among the servants, this is how you see him. Not the boy who spent time with prostitutes. Come on. Not the boy who spent time in the pig pen, but this is my beloved son in whom I am. Y'all see the language of it's about the father. It's about the father. Right? And so he dictates. The father dictates. Why are you allowing other people and other things to dictate the narrative of your situation? Are you? Are you here?
Good word.
Okay, this is not a hallelujah word. This is a go home and get it right word.
That's exactly.
Do you hear? You have to change your verbiage. So I didn't get permission, and so but when the whole time my son was away, anybody who was here, you know how I spoke of him. So that when he came back, he stepped into a climate, an environment, an atmosphere, a narrative that I dictated. Because we have stuff going on in our life, and when it happened, we just, boom, we talk bad, we talk down, and then when the person come back, everybody looking at him cross-eyed. Y'all ain't gonna say amen. This is so good, right? So the father dictated the narrative, and to put an exclamation point on what he was doing. He said, not the calf that's getting fat, not the calf that I wish was fat, but it said the fatted. That's right. It said the fatted calf, right? Okay. You got to fatten something up. You have to plan for the party before the thing happens that you want to happen. Are you okay?
Plan for the party, that's a word.
You have to plan for the reconciliation. And when we reconcile, this is how it's going to go. And it's not going any other way but this way. Put a robe on him, put a ring on him, put some shoes on him. This my son, he said, who was lost, but now he's, what else did he say? He said something else too. He was dead, but now he's controlling the narrative. And everybody got the word but the elder brother. And then the elder brother said, you having a party, was this son of yours, not my brother. Catch that? He said, your son, not my brother. God wants to elevate.
That's right.
And God don't care who don't like it.
Come on. Come on.
Praise God.
The son says, your son, and the father talks, and then the father says, your brother.
That's right.
Because we'll give somebody the trouble and step away from it. But God said, no, that's your brother. So whatever your situation, whatever is going on, you control the narrative. Right? Right? And don't let anybody violate your narrative. It's got to be a biblical narrative, but you control it. Don't let other people, oh child, please, if I was you, you not me, so don't tell me what you would do. You're not me and you're not in this.
That's right.
Come on. This is so good. And then, listen, what will be your profound prophetic act?
We hope you enjoyed this message and were blessed by it. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and like us on Facebook for more ministry and information.